Okay, so I'm going to show you what I'm using with my students on their project-based learning unit. And so the question they're answering is, how can we stop the earth from running out of usable water? And so within that, we have lots of mini questions they're answering, including, is the desalination process an effective way to access more water for all communities? What are different ways we can reduce our water usage? What do we know about the water cycle? How can we help different communities around the world access water? And what problems do some communities face in attempting to do so, as well as where is all the water in the world located? So right now, I am going to be using Mystery Science, which is a cool tool I found. And so I'm going to log in here. Okay, and so what's really awesome about this is it has lots of lessons based on the grade level you choose for science and the topic. And so for me, mine is going to be fourth graders. And so I'm going to skip to the fourth grade, and it's actually on water, as you guys heard. And so unfortunately, this one doesn't have too many water topics here. And so I'm actually moving to the fifth grade one, and I'm going to be doing the Watery Planet. And so I'm going to click on that, and it's going to take you to the lesson here, or the unit. And so it offers different things like an anchor phenomenon to help you start out the unit. And then it has different lessons. So lesson 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a performance task. And so with my kids, I'm going to be doing the very first one, lesson 1, hydrosphere and the rules of water, how much water is in the world. But what's really cool about this is once you click on it, and it loads. Perfect. There's a video that you can have the kids watch. It gives you a little information about the activity preparation that you'll want to do, as well as what next generation science standards you hit, which is super important because we're slowly transitioning to that here in Texas. And so the other awesome thing is you can share this lesson with your kiddos, and it's not necessarily going to show them all of the answers that they'll need, but it can tell them, okay, you need Post-it, Scotch tape, markers, a blank piece of paper, as well as the worksheets that they'll be using. And I think this is a really cool tool right now, especially because online learning, we don't necessarily have our kids in person, and giving them materials is getting harder and harder. So with this, they can even do this online, and a lot of the kids are very tech savvy, so they would be able to figure it out pretty quickly. But it's really awesome. So there's a video for the kids to watch. And then another one here you can see, and that talks about what they're going to be doing. We also have wrap up, and then at the end there's a connection portion of it. And again, that's something that you can do on your own with your students. You don't have to, but this is all just, it helps bring everything together. And so the one thing I really liked about this is it offered worksheets for the kids to do within the units. And so what they're doing in this one, so I'm going to click on the document, is they are finding out where all the water in the world is. And so they're going to find out basically how much is salt water, is frozen, is fresh water. And so the maps are going to be split up into 8 sections. You can see them here. And the kids are going to do, 18. The kids are going to be doing computations of that. So if I go back, and then I can show you world maps here. And so one student is going to get one of these. And again, it can be made so that every student can do all of them, or they can split up. And so you have teams putting them together and making their own world. But basically, they're going to be counting out how many squares there are of fresh water, frozen fresh water, and salt water. And then they'll be doing this and finding out what the ratio is. And then they can put it together and look at what the world is and the ratio of fresh water, salt water, and frozen water. So yeah, it's a pretty cool unit, and I'm excited to do this with my kids.